Good day. I am here along with my groupmates to present and discuss to you the Piagetian Task number 1, the numbers. But before anything else, do you know who is John Piaget? John William Fritz Piaget was a Swiss psychologist known for his work on child development. Piaget's theory of cognitive development and epistemological view are together called the genetic epistemology. Piaget placed great importance on the education of children. John Piaget was a pioneer in the field of developmental psychology, and his theory of cognitive development is one of the most well-known psychological theories. At the heart of Piaget's theory is the idea that the children's ways of thinking change over childhood. One of Piaget's classic measures of children's ability to use mental operation is called conservation task. In this task, which consists of 8 types, children are shown 2 identical objects or set of objects. The children are first shown that the objects are the same on one key property. Now you know the some reason why Piaget created this conservation task. But now, let's focus in the number 1, the numbers. The conservation of number is a mathematical concept that was first identified by John Piaget in the mid-20th century. It is the recognition by a young child that quantity does not change with physical rearrangement. And here's some example to understand more.
Good morning everyone. So this is an example of a teaching conservation to your child. Task number 1, numbers. State your name and your age.
Good morning. I am Tristan Jaertorter and I am 6 years old.
So, hi Tristan. In this activity, we'll do something fun that involves numbers. I'm gonna show you some coins and I'm gonna spread it and create 2 rows. What you're gonna do is to tell me which row has more coins. Are you ready?
Yes.
Alright.
As you can see in that video, it investigates the conservation of numbers. The video consists of experimenter JULIZA and the child Tristan. The experimenter puts 2 rows of coins of equal lengths in front of a child. The child is then asked whether row 1 has more coins or row 2 has more coins or whether they are the same. So as we can see in that video earlier, the child agrees that the 2 rows are the same. After that, the experimenter then spreads the distance between coins in one of the rows and asks the child again which row has more coins. The child answers row 1 that is spread out. The experimenter then shrinks the same row and the child answers that that row has more coins. And that makes the child Tristan has not yet mastered the conservation of numbers because he still doesn't know how to identify that a quantity doesn't change even if it's been altered by being spread out or shrunk.
Most kids, even those as young as 7, can recognize numbers if their parents or teachers teach them. Let's now talk about development of children in Piaget's conservation of numbers. Conservation of numbers is the understanding that an object's quantity does not change regardless of how it appears or is arranged. If a child masters this ability, she or he has no problem in recognizing an object that has same quantity even as to change something. The ability to conserve number is a crucial step in a child's cognitive development because it lays the foundation for more complex problem-solving skills and mathematical concepts like addition and subtraction.
According to Piaget, children go through 2 stages in the development of conservation of numbers, the pre-operational stage and the concrete operational stage. In the pre-operational stage, which typically occurs between the ages of 2 and 7 years, children do not yet have the ability to conserve numbers. They tend to focus on the appearance of objects rather than their actual quantity. For instance, if a child is presented with 2 rows of blocks that are the same length, but one row has more blocks than the other, the child may think that the longer row has more blocks. In the concrete operational stage, which typically occurs between the ages of 7 and 11 years, children begin to understand the concept of conservation of numbers. They realize that the quantity of objects stays the same, even when they are rearranged or presented differently. For instance, if a child is presented with the same 2 rows of blocks, they will understand that both rows have the same number of blocks, even though one row may appear longer.
As we all know, the word implication is the conclusion that can be drawn from something although it is not implicitly stated. So let me ask you something to all viewers that watching, what kind of implication did you get in the given explanation and video test we conduct to a 6-year-old child? how to teach children to practice their mental function or operation to consume what's happening in their surroundings. For those parents that use some materials to create more friendly example to their child and also the teachers. To all teachers that trying their best to answer all the problems and lacking of a student when it comes in conservation of tasks, especially in numbers. As a future teacher, this kind of task is very helpful in every field of teaching. We can conduct and use some necessary assessments and help to make it more easy and understandable to those students that still can't understand the test and having a slow processing in the learning. We can encounter some different students and child. It could be an advanced child that really wise and smart, also a child that really having a problem in the conservation of numbers. Let's take for example, a student that can still count properly. We can use some friendly approach to teach them, like starting to use some fruits and some favorite things that can child love and bring them excitement to learn. We can use different types of teaching, but also it is a great responsibility of a teacher to be humble and try to understand the student lucky. Assessing students is a teacher's job and responsibility to teach students what is right and wrong. And that would be the end of this video presentation. I hope you catch something good and knowledgeable. Until next time, in behalf of the Group 1 members, I am ending this video with smile and thank you for listening.